Hey y'all, so today is a creative day, and with that being said, I just wanted to get on here and give you a couple of tips about how to manage all the roles in order to still allow time to be creative. So I know I mentioned spreadsheets to keep a lot of the data organized, and you could either do, a paper, that's what we're going to go over today, or you could do spreadsheets. And I highly recommend the spreadsheets for certain things like the data for sync, all the song information that you need, like the numbers for your songs, like the UPC codes, the ISRC codes. These are all the publishing numbers that you need to know. The number from your PR. Every song has a PRO number, to identify it when the PRO collects for it. So there's like several numbers, ID tags, I'd call them, associated with each song. So in order to keep all that information straight, and you'll have different versions if you're doing it right and doing it well, in order to be ready for sync opportunities and things when you're doing the production side, and we can talk about it later. You should literally make sure you have many different versions of your song, acoustic versions, non-vocals, just a background addition, just a track to sing to. There's just all these cool ways right at the start when you do the song production to then be set up for better success with sync. But regardless, I'm talking about data and organizing data information today. So get the spreadsheet going on. Google Sheets is really easy because it's associated with your Gmail account if you have it. And then if you're on the road, if you're like traveling to a conference or speaking to somebody, you can quickly refer to the information that you're going to need. And they're also copy and pastable because some of these numbers are like 9, 10 things long. So if you wrote them down, you have to type it in every time, and there's room for error. So legit, highly recommend the spreadsheet for that kind of data information, and for anything you're going to be like coding your song a lot with, like even a composition you're going to be coding it with acoustic guitar, drums, no drums, all those things are going to be in your metadata. So that also is a great thing in the spreadsheet. So we'll go over spreadsheets at some point, but right now I just want to talk quickly basic about information organization. The only way I have been able to stay somewhat focused and organized with all the information you have to know as an indie. Sure, could you work with somebody to do these things? Yeah, if you have a lot of money to do it, and maybe you hire a PR agent for like 3 months, and then after that, it's like, what happens? Because when you're not making money, when your music's not making money, it's very hard to justify how to fund for all those things. So obviously I have a side hustle, which at some point we'll talk about that. I've had a lot of side hustles. But today I'm talking about these books, right? So these books, cheap. I think you can get them for like $5, like a whole grouping of them, 5 or 6 of them. Because you're going to just organize your information and your thoughts and like your to-do list. Like if you know that Tuesdays you work on publishing, or if you just have like an hour worth of publishing projects you got to do, and publishing being the PRO things that we talked about, the ISRC codes, all those things. You could physically handwrite them down and then add them to a spreadsheet later. You could do that, sure. You could also paste them on the inside when you do get them for easy reference. But I basically make a lot of notes in here, like if I'm on a conference call or a Zoom call and it's related to publishing, or somebody mentioned something about publishing and I learned something, I put it in here and I quickly grab them. That's what I have them right here at my desk. So some of them are color coded and some just are written on the front. I'm actually looking to just do like a sticker here so they're binded so that they're easy to read. But this one's publishing. This one is mixing and mastering, and I will go over where I recommend learning from some of these things. Like mastering.com is really awesome. They have a lot of great resources. There's a lot of great things for publishing out there too, and we'll go over that at some point. This is about my podcast. So this would basically SLB Indie Trailer, if you want to hear more about indie stuff, as well as people in the entertainment industry that I have interviewed, and really enjoy that aspect of learning. Because when you are talking to other people, you're learning about their experiences, and through that you kind of find your next segue to something. So SLB Indie Trail podcast. This will have all the information, say, about where it is. Passwords, I highly recommend putting them in here, because if somebody needs to get access to your stuff, if God forbid something happens to you, it's right here. It's super organized. Please do yourself a favor. Make it easy for your spouse or whoever might end up with your catalog or your business or something. It'll be so easy to have these kinds of things organized. Okay, so that one's the podcast. This is just me and my gratitude and my things like to-do lists. Sometimes I just put basic stuff like what I had for breakfast, or if I'm not feeling well, if I'm monitoring my health for some reason. Like, it's just super easy. That's something I do in morning or night, just to kind of clear my mind so that I can sleep better. This one is for producing. So you might think mixing and mastering is the same. It really isn't. Once you dive in deeper with stuff, mixing and mastering is like the final end of a song. Producing is like where you make all the choices, whether it be in a studio physically with musicians, and you want to give them notes. So you could write all that stuff down in here and be like, okay, you could just do a page for a song and like write all your inspirational thoughts. Like, I want cello on here. I want the vocals really low in the mix. I want them to feel like they're part of the band. All those kinds of notes about production can go in here. And if you have a specific sound for any specific song, I'll just tell you quickly about producing is different than engineering. So engineering is when the people record your stuff. So if you have like a very specific sound you want from the drums, make sure that they are recording them well. Like, if you want to play all the toms in the kit, make sure everyone has a mic, because I learned that the hard way and had to record many times over when the drums were incorrectly recorded. Anyways, production. This can be where you're learning about it or not. You may not want to do that, but you're going to pay a lot of money as a songwriter. And my furnace. Hopefully I can take that out later with a noise gate, speaking of production. And this one specifically is just about family stuff. And this isn't really, it could be considered a journal. It's not really business related. I have one for many things, but you don't use them every day. So that's why you need the information. So this one might be like, if I'm dealing with something with my son Lucien and we need to, like, I don't know, sign him up for camp or whatever, I might put it in here, people and notes and things that regarding to that. This is one for my house. Like, what are the projects around here? Like, just keeping organized in that way. So that, or if I had, like, as you can see, these are people that maybe I would work with the house, like if I'm thinking about doing a walkway or something. So that gives you an idea. I do have one for distribution that's around here, because that's my latest thing that I've been learning about. And knowing that is a serious asset to you. Don't just be like, oh, yay, CD baby, my music's out there to the world. Honestly, every little part of the business, they're taking a cut probably before you ever get paid. So it is to your best interest to, like, release a song on one platform and then try something on the next platform. Yes, it's I'm just saying, as you go along, you might find that you're going to need to mix it up. And that's what happened to me. I got kicked off of Spotify for fake streaming, but I had hired a playlist company to help, like a promoter company, and they put me on playlists that were flagged. And then CD Baby never called me, never emailed me, never did anything. I wrote them. They just kicked my album off. And it felt like I was erased after 5 years of promoting it. So I was so irritated. I was in a huge tailspin about it. Like, as an artist, when you have your own identity out there as an artist and there's no real record that you existed, that was a trip. And it took me some time to navigate that, how to get around that. And I realized, oh my God, I can redistribute my album, which is exactly what I did. And I was able to get the streams that I had achieved, because honestly, they weren't all fake. So that was annoying. And it kind of makes me wonder if some of them, like the fact that CD Baby never communicated with me, made me go, well, there was a lot of streams there and nobody was paid for that. And anyways, so there's a whole thing about the industry that you'll figure out, but I'm trying to help navigate that for you. So that's it for today, because I literally am going to get cracking on my creative project for the day. It's a super cool one. I'd love to tell you about it, but it's top secret, because if I tell you, I don't know, I might have to kill you. All right, have a good day. Good luck.